I'm just resting in the Lord today.
Is this the first time you sang?
I'm just resting in my Lord today. My victory came this morning when I knelt to pray. I'm just resting in the Lord today. I felt that was like the most appropriate way to start this episode because that's the song I always sing when in the middle of tragedy.
In video games.
Whenever we're playing Call of Duty and Fortnite, and
if we're about to die,
you hear that it's song. A tragedy, like chaos is ensuing, and I'm dead. I just start resting in the Lord, and we usually find a way to win, don't we?
As soon as you sing it, we win.
As soon as I start singing it, we find a way to win. We get the victory in Jesus' name, and we have a great time. So
we've dedicated a lot of wins in Fortnite to Jesus.
I've dedicated a lot of wins, and I do not want to tell anybody the hours of Fortnite that I've played.
I told Lily 2 days ago because I saw and she was shocked.
She was shocked?
She was shocked.
Yeah. I don't want to tell people.
It was about 714 on the PlayStation.
714?
Yeah, that's just on the PlayStation.
Oh, because you played it on Xbox. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I didn't even think about playing it on the Xbox before I had my PlayStation.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I need to get rid of my games. I have a problem. And I don't know how to solve it. We're going to have so much fun tonight. Shout out to Better Fun. So, we're going to have some fun tonight with this one. We kind of just wanted to get on and talk about, we both have the passion just for like missions, and how we met was on a missions trip to Honduras back in 2011. And so the funny, I don't know if I've ever fully told this story on here yet, but that's where I felt the call of God on my life to start doing a missions and evangelism. And I remember just like, it was me and him. We were just looking up at the stars, and just it was in the dirt, and this audible voice I heard. I feel like it was one of the first times I heard the Lord speak to me, and it was, "You're going to do missions and evangelism for the rest of your life." And so, that's what I pursued. That's what I went after, and that's what I'm doing today, going after the call of God on my life. And Wes has been a big part of that. So.
There was a meteor shower that night too. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was the first one I've ever watched.
I think that helped confirm that's what we were supposed to do. We saw the meteor shower, everything. That was an experience I don't think I'll ever forget, is that moment of just remembering that God like called us to do that. And so I'm very thankful for that. And I mean, since then, I feel like every single day since 2011 that we've messaged each other.
At least one message, probably.
Yeah, we message each other, talk to each other, something, literally anything, whether it be like an Instagram reel or just a text message, like checking up on each other. Wes,
I tried blocking you. You still found me on Instagram, so.
Yeah, still found a way to get to be friends with you. He's been my best friend ever since, and we're going to get more into like just our friendship and the importance of having a friend like that. But before that, I think it'd be really cool just to share the fun parts of our experiences in Honduras. So,
we forgot about.
So I think it'd be fun to just share some experiences about that. That first trip was an interesting trip to go on, You can go ahead and share your experience of how you even got invited.
I had just started going to community, and I heard about the trip, and I didn't really know you guys. I knew you, but I never really got to know you. Never sat down, never talked to you guys much. Just knew you guys from seeing you around. But I was like, hey, not a free trip, but we worked it off and raised up money. And I was like, I might as well go on that. I was like, they're going to be playing sports, I heard. I said, there's going to be women. And that was what I thought about the first trip. I was like, those are my two things I wanted to go for.
That's usually what you think about in your teens. You're not
I was
really.
19.
I was 17. Yeah, I was 17 on my first missions trip. It's crazy to think about, but yeah, I remember just being in the youth and I was hanging out and Josh Bates came up to me and he just looked at me and was like, "Would you want to go on a missions trip?" I was like, "Missions trip? Uh, what's you doing? What's going on? What's going to happen there?" And he kind of explained it to me for everything. And, same thing as you. I was like, I enjoy traveling. I was like, I've never been out of the country.
Same.
So I was like, well, I've been to Canada before that. I was at Canada before. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
And I just remember being like, yeah, I mean, I like to travel. So let's see what this is like. And then, of course, the girls, there's some pretty girls that were on that trip. And stuff. I was gonna shout one out, be funny, but I'm not going.
There's always good shout outs.
If you're out there.
If you're out there.
you know who you are. I love you. I'm just kidding.
Hopefully the editor's really good.
Yeah, hopefully the editing's really good on that. I'm just kidding.
But seriously,
you can
shout out. Sorry, but she really did go on that trip, didn't she?
She really did go on that trip. Yeah.
Who you were thinking of?
I'm not going to go any further into that. But, yeah, we had some great times on that trip. And I remember just going there and, we did the nursing home. We
knew nothing like what to expect.
Literally nothing. And
we didn't know Spanish.
I remember just running around learning what monkey crazy is, crazy monkey, and calling the kids.
To this day, the kids still say it. And the ones that we grew up, like the first kids that we did it to, they're like 20s now, and they still call me that.
Mono loco, and just running around and calling them that, and that was how we connected with them. And
we added an O to every single word because we thought that would work for Spanish.
I remember, yeah, that was the hilarious thing about that was we went on the trip, and for some reason, one of the people thought that you could speak Spanish by adding an O to English words, and
they were dead serious.
They were being dead serious, and so they were like, "Hello, how are you? How are you? And how are you?" And they just kept adding an O to everything, and we're like, I don't think that's how that works.
How are you?
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works. But yeah, I mean, fell in love with it. My heart just went out to the kids, and I think it was just such a cool experience for me to be there, just to see they have very minimal
but
stuff.
Are
so happy living in mud huts. The soccer field is full of rocks,
and you play barefoot because you don't have cleats, or if you do, you wear them for the tournament on Sundays. So
yeah, you only wear them for the tournament on Sundays. And yeah, if you wear soccer cleats or shoes when you're not supposed to, they get upset with you. They'll call you out.
It does not feel good getting cleated.
Yeah, I remember doing all that, getting the opportunity to play with them. I'd never played before.
And we came home, we started practicing at Pleasure Isle. They would play, a bunch of Hispanics would play at 1 a.m. So we'd go up there and play.
I remember during college, I'd go to church. It was on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
We'd go to church. Then after church, we'd come home.
Hang out at your house for a bit.
Stretch, hang out, and eat some food. Then we go to Pleasure Isle, play some soccer.
It was 12 to 2 a.m. or 12 to 3?
They started at midnight. Yeah, they would start at midnight, and then we'd play till 2 a.m.
And we were awful. They loved to see us come because it was easy wins.
Yeah, and then I remember just coming home, getting a shower, getting in bed by 4 a.m., waking up at 6:30 in the morning to go to my college class at 8 a.m. And I did that for a full semester. I barely passed that class. So that was a fun experience for sure. It was a computer class. I remember that. like making like I don't even know, like stuff on the computer. I don't even know how it all worked.
That was the best times.
So I probably could, thinking it more back on, I probably could have used that class a lot more. Like I probably should have paid attention in it. I probably could have
The
used
classes you don't pay attention in, you end up needing.
Yep, that's how it works. That was fun. But yeah, I mean,
And then meeting Wonka, he was the guard at the time.
we always told him he could sling a rock across all of Honduras.
That guy, he wouldn't carry a gun. Well, he would carry a gun, but he had a slingshot, and he would use that first. And I mean, his accuracy was incredible.
Yeah. Was the first year the armadillo came out? Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was behind the Costa Rica house.
Yeah. So we're sitting there hanging out. I can remember this as clear as day. We're hanging out in the outside. All of a sudden, you just hear pop, pop, pop. People in the compound with their pistols out,
shooting an armadillo.
And we're like, "What is going on? Is the MS-13? Are they coming after us?"
That thing jumped 10 feet in the air when it was shot. You remember that? Like,
yeah.
I mean,
and there's this armadillo running around. All of a sudden, they pop, and this armadillo just boing, like flies up into the air,
just lays down dead,
and then and then
we asked them why they killed it, and they said they ended up eating it. Like that was meat for them.
That was good food for them. I remember that. Oh my gosh, that was wild.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I remember that. That was our first trip. And like I said, that's when we fell in love with going. Did you go back the following year?
Yeah. I hadn't missed a year till now for 14 years.
Yeah. So then it was
first year I missed.
After that, Wes was like, I'm going to keep coming back.
And everybody laughed at me because I mean, I'm a jokester. And I was like, no, I'm going back. And then I went back the next year for 5 weeks.
And he did that in 2012. Then 2013, I came back with the Honduras group. And one of my favorite memories was getting Beasley. So we were at a restaurant and Wes has started to like learn Spanish. He started to get it down. And so Beasley comes up to us and is like, hey, I need to ask for a napkin. How do I ask for a napkin? And without hesitation, Wes goes, just say napkino.
And he looks at the waiter and says it.
And he walked up to the front and he went, napkino.
And the guy looked at him like he was crazy. Like, and he just kept repeating it.
And he doubled down. He said, napkino. Like it got louder. Didn't think it worked. And then he comes back and he's like, I hate you guys. Yeah, that was so funny. But yeah, that second trip.
You didn't intern that trip, did you? You only came for...
I came back in 2013 and then I said, I'm going to stay for a full summer with you. And so then...
That was the best summer that I probably ever had.
Yeah. So then we did the 2013 trip, had a great time with that and just loved doing that. Playing soccer with the kids, everything. And then 2014 is really, I think, when things started to like shift a little bit for us as well. Because I stayed a full summer.
Yeah.
And I remember just showing up to, it started out with us showing up to the soccer field and be like, I'm team captain, you're team captain. Whoever wins, loser has to buy 2 liters of Coca-Cola. 3 liters of Coca-Cola for everybody.
Because down there you don't have 2 liter. Well, you do, but you get the 3 liters that.
Yeah, and the 3 liters are like $2, American dollars. And so, yeah, I remember just like every single day we played. I
would say probably 2 to 3 hours. I mean, we were in the best shape of our lives.
That was the best shape I've ever been in my entire life.
30 straight days.
Cardio wise, I had a 6-pack when it was all said and done.
I didn't, but I was in good shape.
Yeah, and yeah, I remember like being there, just really enjoying it, and man, I think that we watched the World Cup.
Yeah,
that was a breakthrough. Okay, so go into the relationship with the people, how that works.
So like, it's a really kind of a big deal when you get like invited into somebody's home because I mean, that's their personal space. You don't just go into their home, and no other intern was like invited in that time. Like, I mean. We were really trying to bond with the people. Like, I mean, we made impact or made it like a point to get to know each and every person that we came in contact with.
Yeah, and like to try to learn Spanish. I remember,
And they
like,
were trying to teach us.
yeah, like they invited us to go, and we got to watch the World Cup. It was Argentina and Germany that played, and Messi was in it. And yeah, me and Wes.
And they invited us in, and we brought Coke because
Yeah.
we had. You want to bring something when you go to their house, so we were like, "Well, Coke. I mean, everybody loves it."
Yeah. And remember just sitting in this little tiny hut watching the World Cup with them. It was such a I'll never that's like a core memory in my life.
And then I sat down in the chair and it broke, and I threw Coke all over the wall. First time ever invited in their house, and I mean, just Coke everywhere on the wall. Did they clean it up? Nope.
They didn't do anything about it.
They got me a new chair and filled my cup up again and left it on the wall.
And we just kept watching the World Cup.
And they never cleaned it.
Never cleaned it. It's probably there still this day. And yeah, I just remember getting invited and remembering how important that was. Just like to break that barrier. And
because after that, like, we would go to their house all the time. Like,
yeah.
We would just walk in. Like, I mean, they were so comfortable with us. Like,
yeah.
It was like a family.
Yeah. And so, that just goes with, just building relationships, not even like for a mission trip or anything like that, building relationship with people.
Do you remember when they made us food that one time? It was corn.
Yeah.
And it was like, I mean, you're talking raw, hard corn on the cob. And like they just picked it and pretty much give it to you.
Yeah.
And when they weren't looking, we threw it into the field because we could not eat it.
I chucked that thing. I was like,
and we acted like we were eating. Like,
so
they're probably like, there's no way they ate that corn that fast because we chucked that thing far. Like, we couldn't do it.
There was no way they were going to know that we chucked it. And yeah, I remember that happening. But yeah, I just think it's so important to just for people to just realize this is that, building relationships with people is important.
Mm-hmm.
Building those foundations with people, as far as like spreading the gospel and like evangelizing the people. But at the end of the day, people want relationships.
You don't have to beat them in the head with the Bible to like get them saved. Like, I mean, you just got to get to know them and show you care and show that there's a certain way you got to act and live. Like, I mean, even just by them seeing your daily life and how you live can help change their life. Because I wasn't there beating them in the head with the Bible. Like, that wasn't my point. I wanted to get to know each and every person there. Yeah.
We made it a point to build a relationship with them and get to the heart to build and then start working on them and build, like giving them the gospel, giving them, our lives and sharing that with them. And, I was 19.
If you want to share Papa Hugh's story, you can share that about the starfish.
Yeah.
Because that's been my motto since he's talked about that.
Yeah. And so I think one of the greatest things that I ever learned was on these trips, and it goes with building relationship, is this. Papa Hugh Skeleton is what we call him. He was a missionary, incredible man of God who's gone on to be with the Lord.
Just last year or this year.
Yeah, very recent. Yeah. And he shared this story about there's a young boy who was out by the ocean, and there had been a bunch of starfish that had gone onto the shore. And this boy, every single morning, he'd get up and go out and grab a starfish and just put it back into the ocean and go back and forth with these starfish. Well, there was one day where there was an older man who walked the beach, and he walked up and he saw the boy doing that, and he didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it. He just kept going. And the next day he came out, and there's that boy doing the same thing. And then he's just paying attention to him this time. He's like, why? Like, what's going on? Why is he doing this? And he's like, oh, he must be bored or something. And then he just goes on. Then the third day came around, and this boy is doing the same exact thing. And this man he walks up to him and says, like, hey, like, boy, like why are you doing this? There are so many starfish that are out on this beach right now. There is no way that you're going to be able to get all of these starfish back into the ocean, back to give them life and give them a new start and all of these things. And the boy stops for a minute and turns around and looks at the man and says, "Sir, I may not be able to grab all of these starfish, but to the starfish that I'm able to affect, the starfish that I'm able to grab, it means something to
It
them.
means the world to them. For
And
the
so,
one that I can touch.
for the one that I can touch." And so we weren't able to reach every single person in Honduras. It would have been impossible for us to do with the amount of time that we had. But to the people that we could touch, the people that we could change, we made up in our minds that we were going to pour into them with everything that we got. And so you have somebody in your life and you're saying, I just want to pour into this person. Keep doing it. Keep pouring into that person. Keep giving them advice and give them godly advice. Keep setting the standard, the example for that person. Because you may not be able to change every single person's life. Let's be real. Let's be real with this. There's going to be people that come into your life that want nothing to do with Jesus. And it breaks your heart. It's going to break your heart. But to the people that do want to know about Jesus, to the people that you can build a relationship with, pour into them. Give them everything that you've got and watch the change that you can make on somebody's life. And so that's basically what the whole story was about. And that was our whole goal in Honduras, was to just
touch that one.
We had this family, this core family that we wanted to pour into, and these core people that we wanted to pour into. And we did that all summer long.
And we were the first ones really to get in with the guys, like the grown-ups too. Like,
yeah,
they said that was one of the hardest, like at the time, like I remember Vicky would tell us, like that's one of the hardest groups to get in, like, because it's hard to get a relationship with them. And I mean, we made it an effort to get to know them, and we played soccer. We bought drinks every single day, Coca-Cola for them, so that way we could get in with them. And when they invited us to play in that tournament for the first time, and we only got in for a couple minutes, but I mean, it was a big deal for us, like to be invited to a tournament to play with them.
It was a very big deal because we weren't the best.
No, not at all.
I couldn't kick the ball to save my life, but I could play defense. And then Wes was the scorer, the kicker.
And just because I was taller than him, I could head it in.
Yeah, he always headbutted in. I could just play defense. And I remember, you remember me having that injury on my leg?
Yes.
I just kept going and going with it.
Because you kept sliding.
I kept slide kicking and like trying to stop. And the scab just kept reopening.
And we had Glenna look at it.
Glenna looked at it and she said, "That's infected." I said, "What?" She said, "Okay, here's what you're gonna have to do, and it's gonna really hurt. You're gonna
She bandaged you up and helped you out."
She said you're gonna have to take a bar of soap and you're gonna have to scrub that until all of the infection's gone." Oh my gosh, one of the worst pains. I stopped slide tackling after that.
Yep.
Because I had to sit there and just go. And I remember just going, I have a pretty high pain tolerance. So I'm just sitting there going like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing it again. Please, just let me get through this. I think I still have a scar.
Oh, I have scars for sure.
I still have a scar. Yeah, it's right there. I still have a scar on my knee from the infection of it, or like the injury. Because I kept like, I slide tackled it.
That was your thing. You would slide every single time.
And it bled. I mean, my whole leg was covered in blood. Then I just cleaned it up and came back the next day. And
like the dirt. I mean, it was so dirty. Like the animals were pooping on the field. Like,
yeah. Terrible mistakes.
Literally, like there's goats, there was horses that would walk across in the middle of a game and just take a poop right there in the middle of the field.
Yeah, you just kept playing. That's all it was. But yeah, I mean, and that whole summer, it's just like, I loved every single person that was there. Like the groups.
Do you remember they had the posters up for us when we arrived?
Yes.
And I mean, I saved those for the longest time. Like I might even still have those at my house, actually.
Yeah, we had the posters.
It was Molly, Aaron, Lydia, Patrick. Who else?
Esther.
I feel like we're forgetting one though.
Uh,
Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and then like we became like a family. Like, I mean, we went because they interned like 3 or 4 years in a row, a
Yeah.
few of them. And I mean, you
Yeah.
really get to know some people when you spend months with them.
Yeah. And so that happened that whole summer. And it's like I said, we love the people there. We love the groups. We love the interns. But we just made up in our minds, like, we weren't just going to build a relationship with them. Like, it's like everybody else, which was fine. It's great. If that's, they did the worship, they did like the all the other stuff.
The arts and crafts,
And then
the preaching.
we would just go and do our own, they'd go and do their own thing, which is fine.
Yeah.
But
And I mean, they were amazing at it.
but yeah, they were incredible. Oh my gosh.
And I mean, Lydia now sings in Nashville.
Yeah, Lydia sings in Nashville. We need to go see her.
I know we haven't been in what, 2 years now? A year?
Has that been 2 years?
It's
Yes, it
before
has.
Lily.
It has, because yes, it's been 2 years.
I know it has. And Molly does her own stuff with the church too. Like,
yeah, yeah. Everyone's doing incredible things. Like, keeping up. I've kept up with most of the people.
It is really cool to see like where everybody's at in life.
Yeah, and yeah. I mean, we did all of that, just building a relationship with them. But then,
but like, yeah, we made it a core to. Since, I mean, like Vicky said, we didn't have any talents.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Vicky. We went around a room one day and everybody was talking about their talents and all the interns. I mean, we had like painters that were just incredible. We had singers that now sing like full time, musicians, like, and they get to us. And I mean, we don't have any talents besides sports. That's really like
sports and building relationships with people.
And so she gets to us and she's like, well, they don't have any talents. And so, I mean, for 10 years after that, I mean, she would tell groups about that because she thought it was so funny that she said that. And I mean, we still laugh about it today.
We still laugh about it. It was so funny.
But the sports got us in. Like, I mean, we built the best relationships. Like,
yeah. And I think, don't overlook that. Like, if you don't have the gift, like an ability to play music or sing, or you don't preach or anything like that, you don't do anything that is the status quo for ministry, don't let that discourage you if that's what God's not led you to do yet. Do the things that God has gifted you with. If you have the capability to have conversation with people, have the best conversation with people. Get to know the first timers. Get to know the people that show up there and they're sitting by themselves. Build those relationships with people, because that's going to be one of the core things that advances the kingdom of God more than ever. Like the singing, the singing is great, but the singing only lasts for about 30 minutes of a service. The preaching's incredible. It's what keeps us renewed. It keeps us fed, and you get 30 to 45 minutes of that, and all of that's going on. But what about outside of church? What about outside of the four walls? We can evangelize, we can sing, we can do all of that. But at the end of the day, we just talked about it already. Pouring into people, getting people, finding your people and being a light to them outside of church, checking up on people. That one text message could change somebody's life, could change the way they think of church, the way they think of this or that. Sending somebody a reel on social media and saying, hey, I just thought about you. I hope you're doing well. Do it. If you feel like doing it, do it. Pouring into people and just being a light is going to be one of the most important things that's going to advance the kingdom of God. And I truly believe that with everything in me, because we still have people that reach out and talk to us about things. And so, yeah, I mean, that 2014 year was incredible. I didn't go back until 2019.
And I kept upping mine. I was like 5 weeks, then it went to 2 months, 3 months.
So go into your experience between 2014 and 2019. Like, what's some key memories, core memories, or some stories that you have from in between those? Because he practically lived there.
Because it went from 2 months, and then it went to 3, then it was 6, and I mean, people called me crazy in the States. Like, I mean, everybody's like, why are you doing this? Like, I just, like, any job that I had, I didn't feel, and you know that now. Like you told me, you know what I was feeling. Like
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like I was supposed to be there. And I mean, I had some really good jobs, great paying, and I mean, I would quit on the spot as soon as I felt the Lord say, "Go back." Like, and He knows I would.
Can I tell
You can tell the story.
My favorite story from you. Okay. So this is one of my favorite stories of Wes, and this is incredible. I just love it. So he's in between the season of just like he's home in America, and so he's about to go back to Honduras, and he's working a job, but he's at my house for this moment, like as he's like getting prepared to leave and all these things, and he's at my house and we're hanging out. He's like, "Oh, I have to call my job." So he's like, "I'm gonna put it on speaker." So we're just sitting there. He puts it on speaker, and they go, "Hello." He's like, "Yeah, this is Wes Philpot. I'm not coming into work today. I'm not feeling the best. This and that." And they're like, "Okay, I'll write you down. We'll make sure that we'll see you again." He's like, "Wait, aren't you gonna ask when I'm coming back?"
They usually did.
And he's like, "Oh, yeah. I need to ask that." He's like, "When are you coming back?" He goes, "I'm not coming back." And they go, "Oh, okay." He didn't know what to say. And then he goes, Aren't you going to ask me the reason why?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, I need to get that." Like, he's like, "Okay, what's your reasoning why?" He's like, "I don't like the boss. She's terrible." He's
like, "I can't write that down."
He said, "I can't." He literally said, "I can't write that down." You just said, "Well, I had better opportunity." Okay, I can write that down. That's one of my favorite, just like the definition of like who Wes is. It's like if he's got like a dream or a desire, like a goal on his heart, like he truly believes in, it's like he'll give up everything to just like go after that and like pursue that. And it's like
it was hard to leave a few of those jobs because I mean I really I could see myself having a career there, but as soon as I felt the Lord saying it's time to go back, I mean I would put either my 2 weeks in or call and quit on the spot.
Yeah, but anyways, keep going on. Just highlight some stories.
You didn't go back when I broke my knee, did you? Before?
No.
Okay, so I think that was the 2015 maybe.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't even supposed to go back. 'Cause I mean, a few months before my trip was supposed to go down, I was playing basketball and I dislocated and fractured my knee. And I mean, I had to have a total reconstruction of it. And I mean, I couldn't walk or run. It took me a year to run.
Yeah.
I wasn't even supposed to go back, but I was like, I'm going. Who cares? And that was a hard season for me because I couldn't play sports.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my go-to there. And so that was the first year back without you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I had to find something else to get in. So I mean, I really just made it impact to just try to sit down with each person and just get to know them more and get to know their story. And my wife hates it because she says I don't know a stranger. I mean, anywhere I go, I want to know their story. And I mean, I'll sit down with anybody. And there was a guy at Pizza Hut. He was a waiter, and I always called him my friend. And Lily's like, "He's not your friend." I'm like, "He is." Like, I would go in there just to see him, and we would sit for hours and talk. Like, if Vicky had to go to town, I would just go there, and I would just hang out and sit and get to know him. And he was a great Christian guy. And I mean, we built a really good relationship. And I mean, just because I stretched out of my comfort zone just to kind of get to know his story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I really tried to do that a lot of. And anywhere I went, I mean, like we went to that one shop and we had that guard give us the gun to hold just because we wanted to look cool with a shotgun in our hands.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. He were at that market, that store, and all of a sudden we'd see a guy just walking around with a sawed-off shotgun, as holding it as the security.
Every store has someone with a gun,
and
protecting it.
We walked up to him and was like, "Picture." He let us take a picture with it. Did we grab it?
Yeah, because he still had it kind of in his hand, but he let us hold it.
And then there's a photo of there's photos of us. We got we had it was in our room with the ARs. We had ARs. We had our shirts off with ARs and
and we had money just scattered on the bed. And it was like one lempira, which is like less than a penny, but we wanted to make it look like we were just so rich with just money just scattered on the bed.
That's on. Is that on Facebook?
It's on Facebook.
Those are on Facebook somewhere. But yeah, we just sitting there, just like holding ARs, and then there's a photo of us acting like we're asleep, and we just got the ARs like aimed at the door. That was so much fun. Yeah. But did you have any
And I
other?
mean, one of like my a story about my first friend, Floor, which was a good friend of yours too.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, she was probably the first person like we really got to know. She played football, and I mean, was amazing. She would play with the men, like,
Yeah.
and nobody would go up against her because she would throw you to the ground. Like, she was aggressive and good.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was down there, and I mean, she was the one that we would hang out with. We really wanted to get to know her.
Yeah.
And I forget what year it was, but we got a call one day when we were at Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'll never forget. We were eating there, and just Vicky just looked shocked and on her face, and she looked at me and she was like, "Floor's been killed," and I was like, and I mean, so we literally
Yeah.
just got up and left Kentucky Fried Chicken to go to meet her family, and the way she was killed was just, I mean, she was murdered on a beach, and it was our first. So that's like the first impact I've ever had of someone I know like close
Yeah.
to me that died, and I mean, it was sad. And I mean, I just remember her brothers coming up to me and hugging me and just crying their eyes out. And she had a kid, two kids, three,
Yeah.
and they were like 5 and 3. I mean, at the time, like really young, and I still have a great relationship with them, but like just it was the hardest thing to see. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
and I
It
just
was-
remember like it was a televised funeral because of how like everything went down, like how she was murdered and everything, and like there was TV crews there, like just so many people at the funeral. And at a funeral there, like you have the tomb dug out, but the family like fills it with concrete. So like they have to walk back and forth with buckets, and I mean it's all the brothers doing it. And I remember they invited me to do one of the buckets with them, and that was a big deal. I was the only one out of the family that got to do that. I mean that's something that'll always stick in my head.
Yeah.
Like just getting to close her grave off.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I remember Floor, and she was just always full of life.
I mean, the
dude. And
funniest person ever. Like just so nice.
yeah, I just remember you letting me know that, and I was just devastated. Like, man, like the memories we had with her too.
Well,
The-
I mean, just will always stick out.
yeah. we can't.
Nothing bad. but
Nothing
just,
bad
She
happened.
was just full of life and just wanted to be the party of everywhere she went.
Yeah. And so we had a good time with that as well. Like just being with her was just like a good time. And so
And that was the first time I've had someone like close to me die. Like, I mean, and I wouldn't even say close. Like, I mean, it was like a friend, but it was like the first person I really connected with in Honduras.
yeah.
Like she made sure we played soccer with her, and I mean,
Yeah.
she didn't care to be on our team if we sucked. Like,
Yeah. She was always just loving and great. And yeah, that was a hard one to find out about, truly.
yeah, I remember calling you, and I was like, "You're not going to believe this."
Yeah, I was very emotional about that too. That hit me hard. Just gone too soon.
hmm And a lot of these stories, I mean, stories I'll probably say today. I mean, I've never even shared with anybody. Like, a lot of people ask me why I didn't publicize a lot of stuff, or like I never posted videos, pictures, and stuff like when I was down there. But like to me, like I saw a lot of people come down there, and they publicized a lot of stuff just to publicize it and make it look like that's what they're doing. This is like off camera.
Yeah.
They weren't doing that, like just for the pictures they were. And to me that really bothered me, so I made sure that I wouldn't be that way with the kids. Like I didn't want to be like, oh, come take a picture with me, just to post it on Facebook and like, look at me helping this kid. Like
Yeah.
it really rubbed me the wrong way to see that through. And it wasn't a lot of people, but just some people came down there. And I mean, I know I probably should have publicized more, but I
Yeah.
mean, I have a lot of pictures with the kids. Like I would take a lot of stuff with just the kids just to be able to show them when they got older. And one story that really stuck out a few years ago, it was probably about 4 or 5, a little girl came up to me, and she was probably like 6th grade now. And I was showing her a picture of when she was like in kindergarten, and she was sitting in my lap. And she looked at me and she said, one day we need to recreate that picture. She said that I love that picture. And she would always make me show it to her when she came to Bible club. Like, and so it was cool to see like that was such a big impact on her life. But I wasn't doing that for the publicity. Like,
Yeah.
and a lot of the kids would be like, hey, can you show me pictures of this? Do you have a picture of me when I was little? Like a lot of kids would come up to me, and I would scroll through my Facebook, or not my Facebook, but my gallery, and I'd find the pictures of them. And
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So those are some just like great memories of Honduras. Did you have anything else that any core memories that happened before I showed up again in 2019 with a
Oh man. See, the best times were when you were there. Like, I loved all the interns I spent time with. Like, I mean, I still have a lot of them that I keep in contact with today. Like, I mean, David, like Finney, like
yeah,
you know him too. Like, he lives in Nashville, and I mean, he's one of my best friends. Like, I mean, just coolest guy ever. And he was there a few times during that time. And his fiance or girlfriend at the time was there, and she always told me like, you're gonna be the best friend with him. Like, you're gonna love him when he comes. But other core stories. I mean, one of the kids that we really impacted with is Yomi. I know.
I was waiting for you to tell that
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
I mean, he was my favorite kid for. And sorry about all the other kids if anybody watches this, but he was my like one of the favorites that just stuck out with me always. Like he just reminded me a lot of myself because he was the class clown every single time, anywhere that he went. Like just had to be goofy. And in the
yeah,
school, like we'd be playing soccer, and at the time he wasn't the greatest soccer player, but he would be running and he would just act like someone shot him. And he would just die on the field and just lay there for 5 minutes. Like he would just lay there, like just to make people laugh. And just we really poured into his life, and I would always tell him like because he wanted nothing to do with like when he would can't come to Bible club or youth group. But when he grew up, he didn't want anything to do with like being a leader or following Christ. Like all he wanted to do was play professional football. Like that was his goal. And just recently, a couple years ago, he really started to get back in with the Lord. And now he's like leading his own church. Like he goes around like preaching all over the place. And
yeah,
like he looked at me one day and was like, you were right. He said, you kept telling me that God wanted me to be a leader. And he said, you kept saying that God had a calling in my life. And like he had preached to the kids at the Villanueva, and he just really made an impact to try to impact their lives of the people that lived around him in Corozal.
yeah,
And like his life has totally flipped around. Like his family, he just told me the other day, all of his family members got saved. Um, like just to see him preaching all over on Facebook, like, and I know I've showed you a lot of videos and stuff. Like you would
yeah,
never expect that out of him. And that's the one that I always think about when I think like if there's just one person that could have touched that entire 14 years that I had been going down there, like it was worth it all. Like all the money, everything I spent, all the time, like it made it worth it for that.
yeah. And now we're gonna be trying to work with him for us to get down there
Yeah, I
to
talked to him about it, and
do some evangelism and like for me to be able to go and preach either at his church
because
or
now you want to do full time, like hopefully sooner than later.
yeah,
And so we talked to him about maybe starting to go back to where it all began and doing like a little brigade or something. And he's all for it.
yeah, running a crusade there or yeah, just running an event there. I would love to do that, make it a full circle moment of just going back there and just pouring into the people again, and getting a team of people, um, and doing that.
And I do want to give a huge shout out to Vicky. Like, I mean, she really poured into, I know your life too, but mine, like, so much. Like, I mean, she really helped to make sure that, like, anything I wanted to do full time missions, like, she was there to support me, like, for that. And I mean, I probably wouldn't be able to do it without her
Yeah,
and my own mother. I got to throw her in there because she wanted to do missions when she was younger, but her parents wouldn't let her. And so I mean, from the day one that I said I wanted to do missions, she was like, do it.
yeah,
Whatever you got to do it. And so, I mean, she really pushed me to do the best I could. And every year that I said I was going to go back, she's like, do it, go back.
yeah,
And there was one year I bought a plane ticket, not even 12 hours before I left. Like, I just felt like I was supposed to go back. And I was leading a trip to Guatemala, so I didn't think I could do both financially. But I was like, I mean, I can't miss seeing those kids. Like, I mean, the people there are like family to me. Like, and even that was in the beginning, first 5 years I was there. Like, I felt like family to them. Like, and so I remember I just bought a ticket and flew out 12 hours later. Spent 2 weeks there because that's all that I could do. Flew home, and then the next day flew back to Guatemala.
I remember that was at the 2015
Yeah, that was
because that was the year after. I remember breaking down like I was in tears.
you were balling.
because I couldn't go back,
Mhm.
and like I was so frustrated.
And you loaned me the money.
And I
'Cause I said, how much money you got saved up? Because I know you were supposed to go back. I said, I need every penny because the banks were closed. Like also, it wasn't even 12 hours, probably like 8 hours. I was flying out. I said, I need whatever you got saved up. I said, I'll pay you back.
Yeah. And you never did.
Nope.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I shouldn't have reminded you. But no, I just remember calling you and you're like, what? And I was like, yeah, I said, whatever you got saved up in your closet. I remember you had like a Laker thing or something in your closet. And
I had a thing. I never took it to the bank. I had like.
Well, yeah, because I took it all.
I had saved up. Yeah. I had saved up. Yeah. I used to always, like, whenever I got cash, I'd always just put it in a box and I would keep it there. And I never really like told anybody except for Wes. And that was the reason I didn't tell anybody because people knew I had the money. But yeah, I would always have cash. I had like, man, I think at the time like $600-$700.
It was like 700. I remember because I was like, you're like, how much do you need? I said, all of it. I was like, I need all of it.
Yeah, and I just gave it all to you, and I was like, okay, just write me a check, whatever. And
that's when I tried blocking his number.
Yeah, and I remember just crying because, again, the very beginning, I felt God call me to do full-time missions and evangelism, and it's like the process of just like the ups and downs.
I would come home and I don't think anybody ever knows this, but I would come home and bawl my eyes out when I came home from there. Like after every trip, like just there was something about I missed it. Like, and I was so scared. Like what happened to Florida? Like I would lose somebody else. Like I felt closer with the people there than I did here.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I don't think I've ever shared this with anybody that I was in Dry Ridge at our house and I never have slept walk in my life, but I had a dream that I was in Honduras and it was on the path, like throughout the property. I know you know. And I remember just walking up that path, but I couldn't see because all the lights out were there. And I just remember I was crawling on the path trying to find my way. And that was like the day I came back and like, I still have no idea what that dream meant, but I just remember just waking up and just being like, man, like I need to go back. And I just got back that day. Like there was just something about that Honduras that always stuck out. Like,
yeah, and the way you feel about Honduras is like the way that I begin starting to feel about just like going to Hong Kong and stuff like that. And I know people listening is probably going to freak some of them out because you eventually moved to Honduras. So
8 years full time.
Yeah, but it's just in my heart to go back, like to just keep going back to that place, to keep connecting with the people and reaching out to them.
And some people don't know, like, you only get a certain amount of time on a visa. Like, that's why I couldn't stay there.
Yeah.
Like, an entire time. Like, I mean, it was 3 months. So every 3 months I had to leave, like, and come home. Even if it was for a week, like, I had to come home and then I could go back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I never raised sponsors. Like, there was only a very few times that people would give me money. Like, it just wasn't something that I felt comfortable asking for money or anything like that. Like, I had a few people that would help me every once in a while. Like, but and then I had a whole year that a church donated to me. And then, I mean, it just wasn't like, and I never asked. Like,
yeah, I remember that.
Because it's not comfortable. Like, and I mean, you really got to stretch out of your comfort zone to be like, hey, I need money like to go over here. And the other thing was like, without me posting stuff, like I didn't want people to be like, well, what are you doing with that money? What are you doing with this? Like,
that makes sense.
I didn't like to feel like I'm bragging. Like, well, this is what I'm doing. Look at me.
Yeah. I understand that for sure. But yeah.
What year did you go back? 2019?
2019. Yeah. That was the first time I led a team. So I led a full team.
And that was an experience.
Yeah. I don't really, how, Lord, give me the right words to say without being, okay. So I led a team. We had about 30 people, around 30, close to 30 people on the team. First time I ever led a team. And, you know, if it were my way, I wouldn't have had as many people as my first trip.
Mm-hmm. Which you had a good amount of chaperones too, though.
Yeah. But we had a lot of people that I had to be in charge of. And some people with a lot of personality, per se. and all of that fun stuff. So, I didn't get a whole lot of say in certain things about like I set time limits on when people were to pay me. If they didn't pay me, then like the very first time I said, if you want to sign up, and then the payment's due this time. If you don't pay by this time, or at least communicate to me that you're going to pay it at like a few days later or something, then I have to take you off the list. And I remember just like the day came, no people didn't communicate with me. And then like a few days later, they came up to me and they're like, here's the money. And I tried to that was like one of the first times where I was trying to like stand my ground. I'm like, I'm sorry, you can't go on this trip. I don't like.
And it's hard. Like
we had to sign up. We had the sign ups. We had everything. If you can't even do this, how am I supposed to trust you to do?
I mean, you're in the world's murder capital at the time. Like, I mean, so how can you trust to bring someone
to listen to me, to like follow and lead what I have to say? Like, and I tried to establish that rule, but I got overruled.
I do have another story real quick though.
Because of some things, but yeah, I mean, the getting there was fun. We got there, and before we get into like that trip, and then we'll go into like our account, like talking about the friendships and stuff after this trip. You can share your story.
So we had to do medical clinic, which was not my favorite. Like I am at the time like really germaphobe person. Like I mean, and you wouldn't believe that going to a third world country and you're a lot of dirty circumstances. But I remember we had to go to San Pedro, and they asked me to be the cleaner of the dental tools, and I'm like, Vicky, you can't do that to me. Like, I mean, I started freaking out, like shaking. Like, I was like, I can't do that. Like, that's disgusting. Like, there's no way. And she still laughs about that story to this day because, I mean, out of all the people that were there, they try to bring that to me. And I'm like, no, like, I can't. So, like, they put me in, like, traffic control after that, which I was fine with that. But I just remember just thinking, like, to myself, like, I was like, because, I mean, I was, like, I mean, I had you still think I have hand sanitizer to this day? Like, you still got it on you? Like, I mean, I always had some hand sanitizer on me. Mm-hmm. And 2019 was the trip that I met Lily too, right?
Yeah, because you had messaged me before. You're like, I found a girl. I was like, what? He took me. He kept saying he was going to marry on Honduras, and he kept saying it.
I said I just felt like I was going to. It took 8 years to find her though, but
yeah. And then I remember going on that trip, and yeah, I mean, we had to go. It ended up being a good trip. Like we had the whole group. It was a good time. I think it was a very much
great group. Like I mean, we had a lot of fun.
A very good learning experience for me. That's for sure. So I definitely take the positive out of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I remember we went to the mall where Lily worked, and I remember all 30 of us just like circled around her little area.
She had a little kiosk, and she was the only one that worked there.
And meeting her and like talking to her and stuff, and yeah, I remember all of that. Do you remember riding on those animal machine things like around the mall?
They had like these little animal and they have them here now. But
yeah, they have them here now.
Just little animals that you motorize and you ride around. We got them.
We got on them and we're like riding around with them, like doing the things. And then the bandanas. The bandana, we
weren't the smartest at all.
Wearing bandanas on our face, like,
and we acted like we were protecting some of the other interns that were there.
Yeah,
and we almost got kicked out of the mall. Like, I mean, the cops came up to us. The mall security came up to us with their guns and told us to pull off our mask. And it was not the smartest.
We didn't do the. This wasn't 2019.
This was before.
This is 2014 when we were interning. I remember they told us to never get on the bus. That's the number one place where people get murdered. And you know what we did? When we wanted to get to the mall.
You had to get on the bus.
We rode the bus.
And Vicky and Alan hated it.
And I remember riding in the back, and somebody was like was it you or somebody was like watching me, because how like me, I'm just a bubbly person out like having fun, and that bus was rocking, like bouncing up and down, and I got a little dramatic with it, and I was going on the bus.
You're going down back road, like, and it's all
flying
like rocky
around
roads and stuff.
And I just remember doing that, and everybody's just looking at me, and I'd be like, okay, maybe I need to stop this.
And I had to take the bus every single day to see Lily. Like,
Yeah.
man, like there were some sketchy times. I remember one time I was waiting on the bus to go back to the compound, and a guy walks up to me. I'll never forget it. Like, I mean, it's probably the scariest time of my life. And he just looks at me and says, I want to kill someone today. And I mean, in English, and you don't find a lot of people that know English there. And he just kept looking at me and said, I really feel like I need to kill someone today. And I was like, oh, great. And I literally was like, this is my time. Like, there was nothing else. Like, I didn't second guess. I was like, well, I always told Elijah I'm dying here. And I was like, this is my time. And I was like, well, what's wrong? I said, you need some money, you need some food. I was like, I'll go buy you some food. He said, no, I just haven't had a good day. He said, I really want to kill someone, though. That'll make me better. And he walks behind me. And I was like, I didn't even turn around. I just accepted it. Like, I was like, all right. And so then I ended up standing up because the bus was pulling up. I was like, oh, thank God. And I stand up, and he's screaming at me like as I'm walking to the bus. And I knew the bus driver was one of the kids' brothers that goes to the school. I said, do not let him on the bus. And so he didn't. And that guy screamed at me the whole time. But I literally thought that was my day. Like, I mean, he wanted to kill someone.
Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, I mean, we did all those trips. And then afterwards, you stayed. Oh, gosh, you stayed during the pandemic.
Oh, that was the worst.
Yeah.
Because in Honduras, you couldn't leave the house besides once every 2 weeks, depending on the number on your license. So, like, if you had a 1, they got to leave, like, on a Monday every 2 weeks, whatever. And that's when you could go to the grocery store. Everything else was shut down. Yeah. They had people at each entrance to, like, say you had to go to work or something. There was a few things open. When you would come back to where you lived, they'd spray down your whole car with, like, Clorox to clean it because they thought, like, you were going to transport COVID.
Yeah.
And there wasn't taxis. There wasn't anything. So, I mean, it was – and I couldn't even see my own wife or, well, girlfriend at the time. And she only lived I had just moved into an apartment at the time, and because I had just moved there, right? Like a few years before that, like full time. And I moved in my own apartment in the city. It had no running water. I barely had electric. I had no AC. I'd wake up in a pool of sweat every single day.
Yeah.
And I had to go outside to get bucket water, to take showers, to go to the bathroom, anything like that. Like, it was not fun. And during COVID, there was nothing to do.
Yeah.
And she lived like a mile and a half from me, and her family wouldn't let her out at all. So I couldn't even see her.
Crazy.
It was like I spent like 5 months by myself pretty much without seeing her.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah.
And then when things finally opened up, she got to go back to work, but like they couldn't have people inside, like, but maybe one at a time. And so I had to walk because taxis weren't there. I walked, I want to say it was like 2.5 miles to her work back and forth. So it's like 5 miles a day. Like, I would go see her, and it was hot. And you're not supposed to walk in Honduras like that. Like, especially being a white guy, like you really stick out. But that was the only way I got to see her. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we had incredible times in Honduras, and I think that's some of the core things. You know, Wes for me and I know for me for him, we've become like best friends through the ups and downs of life.
Pretty good friends.
Being like an accountable, like building accountability partners, like in that sense as well. And I think ending this episode, let's talk about just like being the importance of having that like accountability friend, having that person that is in your life to help you, tell you the truth when you need to hear it. You know, the Bible talks about in Proverbs 27:17, it says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. I think it's important to find that friend that's an accountability person with you that has the same desires, same vision, same dream as you. You know, we're both passionate about missions, and we're both passionate about pouring into people.
And it's crazy that how God put us in each other's lives, like knowing that.
Yeah.
Eventually, like
we met in a different country, and we both live in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that it took
15 minutes from each other.
Yeah. And so, finding that person that holds like the same values, goals, and the same faith as you is just like something important to have in our lives. Somebody that will lovingly tell you when you need to do better, or when, you know, I literally go to Wes for everything. Whenever I was facing like challenges of like, you know, with like pornography, and like whenever I faced different challenges, or like whenever a girl can't, like I met a girl or I was like talking to a girl, I'd always tell Wes about it, and like this
Get my opinion, what I thought. Like,
yeah, and all of these things. Like what I'd always go to Wes for my opinion.
he
Like
knew I'd give the straight up opinion.
yeah,
I wasn't gonna lie or beat around the bush. Like,
yeah, and it's like, you know, going and doing things. It's like they're not necessarily bad things, but just like doing things that I don't post on social media and things like that. Like going, like telling Wes about it, letting him know, and I know that with confidence he won't go and tell anybody.
and we've battled the same temptations and things like that. So like it really, like being accountable, like we really helped each other in those areas and still do to this day. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
everybody has their battles. And I mean,
yeah,
if we feel something coming up, like I'd text you right away, like, hey, like, man, like I really need some prayer. Like things aren't going great, or this is coming up and
yeah,
the devil's throwing this at me.
yeah. Just because things are going good for us, like church wise, and like living, like, you know, we're living on fire for Jesus, doesn't mean that the enemy doesn't try to still attack you with the same tactics. And
And he'll change those tactics up too to try to slide new ways in.
yeah, and so having that person that you can reach out to say, hey, I'm struggling with this or struggling with that, and having confidence that they'll just pray for you or like give you guidance and help you stay strong.
And not going to judge. Like,
Yeah, not judge, not anything like that. Like after I went through my divorce, it was like the pornography tried to creep back into my life. And Wes was like the first person he's the only person I went to about that. And I was like, this is trying to come into my life again. I know it's not supposed to be here because I know God has so much, he's already been doing so much in my life. I know this is the enemy's attempt to try to stop me from reaching my fullest potential in my life. And I'm like, Wes, like, I need you. I need you to like reach out to me. I need you to like, we need to have like accountability.
There was days I would just text him like, hey, how you doing? Like, just if I felt like called to like just text you like, hey, you doing good? Like, how's everything going? Like,
yeah. And so I think, like, you know, having an accountability person will bring 4 different things in your life. 1, it's going to bring spiritual growth for you. 2, it's going to give you someone integrity. They're going to help you stay consistent when no one's watching. Is essentially, you know, integrity with that. They're going to give you encouragement when you need it, and then they're just going to give you the trust and the truth. And so, you know, it's not always going to be comfortable telling somebody what's going on. It's not always going to be comfortable, but if you have that friend to pour into, it's powerful to have.
Some people, everybody, like, they see like you're on fire and stuff like this, but they don't see the struggles or the things that you're having to go through to get to that point. Like anybody that is saved or anybody that is walking in life, like you have your own struggles. Like it doesn't matter how on fire you are, like you still have temptations. You still have things that are coming against you. Like,
yeah. And there have been times where I've gone to preach places or I've gone to preach, and it's like after the service, I just reach out to Wes. I'm like, I don't deserve this. Like I'm still struggling. Like I'm still facing, like these things are still trying to creep into my life.
Why am I being called to this? Like,
yeah.
And you were just straight up honest about it each time. Like, well, why is God calling me to this? And I'm like, yeah, there's bigger reasons than what you can see. Like your calling is far greater than what you can see right now.
And he's been a great reminder to like remind me of just like what I've gone through and where I've came from. So it's important to have that in your life. So, you know, we have these friends. It's like we had all these great times, but it's through these great times, it's like we've gotten closer and like,
and I mean, like you were my person when my dad was diagnosed with cancer too. Like,
yeah,
that was the hardest time that I've ever went through. And I mean, I'll share about that for a minute if you don't care.
Yeah. Okay.
And so like I had just came back from Honduras and he had started feeling sick. And this is like newly into me and my wife's marriage. Like, I mean, we're less than a year, I believe. And I had flown back to go to Honduras, and he was sick for like 3 days, just couldn't get out of bed with a stomach ache. And so the day I flew back, they took him to the hospital. And like 3 days later, we learned that he had pancreatic cancer with 3 months to live. And he's only 58. Like, I mean, I never had anything like that happen or experienced anything like that in my life. Like, never lost anybody close in the family. Like,
Yeah.
and so I had just got married. Like, I had just flown back that week, and when we learned that, and I hopped back on a plane and flew right back. Like, I was like, Lily, I have to go take care of him. Like, I mean, I got 3 months left. And so when I got back, he shared a story that he had a dream a few months before that his mom, who had passed away years before, came to him and said that he was going to have things come against him, but the third one was going to take him out. So he needed to get his life right with the Lord. My dad was not saved, like, at all. Like, never. He could care less about going to church or anything like that. And so he said he was going to get his life right with the Lord because his mom came to him in his dream, and he never told anybody about that dream. And so he had started reading, praying, and doing all that before he even got diagnosed. And so when he got diagnosed is when he told my mom, like, don't worry, I've already got my life right with the Lord. Like, this is what happened. I knew this was coming. And every single person that came to the house, like, he shared that story with, like, because he didn't know who it could touch. And I mean, just to know that that's what it took to get his life right, like, it was worth it. Like, yeah, I would love to have more years with him. Like, I mean, me and him really grew close in his end times. But to know that I'll get to spend eternity with him over, 10, 15, 20 more years on earth, like, it's worth it. Like,
Yeah, it's definitely worth it.
But you were the person I called to for everything. Like, if he wanted to go somewhere, he worked at the casino. So if he wanted to go hang out with his friends there and his coworkers, because, I mean, he only had a few months left. I didn't like driving places because I lived in Honduras, so I didn't drive a lot here. So you would call off work, you would leave work, like, just to come pick him up and go. Like,
Yeah.
And I mean, that happened multiple times a week, and no matter what, you dropped everything to come. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
one of the favorite memories we still talk about it. I drove him to the casino, and
he worked there for 25 years.
Yeah, so he just wanted to go see his friends and everything. So that's what we did. It was just like, that's all we really did, was just to take him there, go see his friends.
He would play some slots.
Yeah,
like slots.
and then we'd roll him. That's all we did. We just rolled him around.
He would push him around in the wheelchair.
I literally pushed him around in his wheelchair and be like, all right, which slot you feeling? And that's what we did, and we would just hang out. I would just watch him.
So that one day that he won, and it was like it was like a $2 win or something. But Elijah screamed jackpot as loud as he could.
I remember.
And my dad got so embarrassed. He was like, "Don't you ever do that again?" Because that was where he worked, and he screamed jackpot. So everybody's looking like, "What did he hit?" It's like $2. Like,
we're just sitting there because that's all we did. I just followed him around, and I was like, Wes.
He was so embarrassed.
I was like, Wes, watch this. And he hit it, and the lights go off, right? Yeah, the lights went off on it, and as soon as the lights went off, I didn't even know how much he went. I just went, jackpot!
Everybody just looks.
And I remember that. That was so much fun. But yeah,
that was, you were the person that I went to for everything. You and Tyler. Like, I mean, Tyler was always there too. And like,
yeah, I
mean, it just is great to know that, like, I mean, that he got his life right. Like, I mean, every morning that I'd wake up, like, I'd have to sleep next to his bed to press. He had a button that he would get pain medicine, and I had to press it every 30 minutes. I'd set alarms throughout the entire night. And like, every morning when he would wake up, the first thing he'd do was open his Bible and journal. Like, and I mean, that is not my dad. Like, and so his life fully flipped around, and that was cool to see. Like that, but you never know what it'll take to get your life right. Like, I mean,
yeah,
that's what it took for him, was to have 3 months left. But
if it took us driving him to the casino and like rolling him around to play the slots, we just literally, that's all we just watched him play
for hours. He would just sit with his friends and just talk, like, because it was his coworkers. That's all he knew him for 25 years. Like,
we just watched him play. That's all we did. And then, I mean, yeah, they had food there, so it's like
they would buy him food.
They go buy him food. I'd have my food, and as he's playing, just eating my food, getting they had getting a soda, just getting a drink, just hanging out with him. But if I had to do that, I would do that 10 times out of 10, every single time, if I knew that's what's going to get him to heaven,
Yeah.
get him to realize
Like I said, I'd love to have more years with him, but if that's what it took to spend an eternity with him, like, I mean, it was worth it. Like,
yeah, definitely worth it.
in the hardest time of my life, I mean, I was away from my wife that I just married we were away for 6 months. So 6 of the first 12 months we were married, we were away from each other.
Yeah. And, yeah, he's a great man. He's great. And, you know, having that person that you can go to is one of the greatest things that you need to prayerfully find that person. Allow the Holy Spirit to give you discernment on people to talk to, and allow him to lead and guide you through that. And you'll find that person if you prayerfully seek God to find him. I'm thankful to have Wes in my life. He's gonna be in my life until I die. It's like, that's just how it's going to be. He's got no choice because he knows too much about me. So
maybe until I die, if you take me out, I mean.
Yeah. And I mean, just finding that person for you, whatever that looks like, whatever
just pray about that. Like, he'll put that person in your life. Like,
yeah. And that you'll have confidence in that person to be able to tell them, because it's important to not hold things in. So if you go your whole entire life or holding things in, that's so unhealthy for you. Don't hold things in. Get them out. Get those things out. Find somebody that you can talk to. It was important for me to find, I love my parents so much, but it was important for me to find somebody that wasn't my parents. I feel like I could go to them for anything, but I just, there was a time where it's just like, I just didn't want them to worry as much about me. So it's like, I started going to Wes even more. And it's like, now Wes and I do devotionals every single day, like on the Bible app. Like we
check in, if the other person doesn't do it.
Yeah. And we're like, okay, what's up? Like, why aren't you doing it? Like, we have made sure that we are building the kingdom of God, and we're also like pouring into ourselves, getting our devotionals in. So
and you got to pray for like opportunities too. Like, I know a big thing for you is like opportunities. Like, you bring up sometimes, like, man, like, I don't know why God called me, felt like to go back to a gas station that one day. I remember when you called me, like I went back and there was someone that needed help, and I don't know why God called me to go back there, but that's why. Like, and I mean, that happened a lot for me in Honduras. I wanted to share a couple just before we wrap it up. Like, during COVID, like when I moved out on my own, like I really had to find like what to do, because for the first 11 years or whatever it was, 10 years that I spent at Vicky and Alan's compound, like we had the same schedule. Like, you had Mondays do this, Tuesdays do that, Wednesdays do that. Like, everything was locked down. But when I moved out on my own, like I had to find my own calling. Like, and so I really love to do street ministry and like go out and meet people in the streets and like do that. And like in Honduras, one of the hardest things is just seeing the kids on the street begging for money. Like, I mean, you're talking 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds. Like, that's what they do every single day. Like, they are just on the streets, just either trying to sell a product to raise money for their family, or just asking for money, or trying to wash your windows, stuff like that. And I mean, I couldn't imagine being that young and just that's what your family depended on, was you going out there. And so during COVID, like I sometimes drove my bike around just trying to find things to do and meet new people.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I met some of the greatest kids like that. Every time they'd see me after that, like they'd come running up to me, hugging me. Like, we'd sit there and talk. Like, there's one kid at Pizza Hut one time, like I left, and the kid was out there just trying to get money. And I was like, I felt the Lord say, go back and see why you needed the money. So I left, and I was like, man, I got to drive all the way back. So I drove back. He's like, I just want a guitar. And so I was like, all right. So I gave him some money to buy the guitar. And he was probably maybe 9 or 10 at the time. And so we got to talking, and he had to spend every night out there trying to beg for money, like, because he lived hours away, and sometimes he had to sleep on the streets because he didn't have a way home. And I mean, to be 10, 11 years old having to sleep on the streets, like I couldn't imagine. And so like the years during COVID, like I'd really make it a point to go find them and buy them food and stuff like that. And I took them to buy clothes. And I mean, it's a lot of stuff. I just wanted to share some stuff because people didn't know like what I did. So, I mean, that was a big thing for me, because kids have always been important to me. Like I've always felt called to, like, for the orphanage when we spent time there, like for the kids, like just kind of teaching them and helping build them up and raise them up like Christians. And
Yeah.
so, like, I mean, it was really important to me for that. And, like, I mean, there was 5 years I spent just getting to build relationships with them. And, I mean,
Yeah.
that was some of my best days, was just getting to see them, like, because they love to get to see me, even if I didn't have anything for them that day. Like, and there was a kid that sold lemons, and I'm not kidding you. Like, my wife hated it because I would come home with 30 lemons a day sometimes because he couldn't go home until he sold all of his lemons. And so I'd buy every single one of his lemons every single time. And I mean, she's like, what are we going to do with these? Like, we'd have a whole fridge just full of lemons. Like, we didn't have a lot of food, but we'd have 150 lemons in the fridge. And so, I mean, I'd always make sure he got to go home early, like anytime I got to find him. And I met him during COVID when I walked to Lily's work one day. Like, he was out, and I was like, hey, you want to go eat lunch with me? And so I brought him to eat lunch. And after that, like, we built a great relationship. Like, I don't know what, Will's over there laughing at me.
Will's got,
Will's got the giggles.
It processed in my head that Will has a dad hat on, and it's just fascinating to me.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like,
he's not a dad. He's not a dad. Let's make that clear for the audience. He's not a dad. He's not a dad.
But like, if you pray for opportunity, like, God will show up and do it, and you never know how it'll be. And like, just those instances, like, are the ones that stick out of my head. And there was another guy that you would know him too. The guy, he was always in the wheelchair in the streets. And I mean, I'm not kidding you. Like, anytime I drove past him, he'd wave me down and he'd come and just talk to me. And like, he spent the whole 14 years that I known him in the streets every single day begging for money. Like, that was his only way. Like,
yeah.
And I mean, he would always be like, hey, how's your wife? How's this? How's that? Like, how's this going? Like, we built a great relationship. Like, and like you said, like, building relationships with people is like something that we love to do. Like,
yeah.
And Lily hated it because she's not that way. Like, she doesn't like to go out of her comfort zone to talk to people. But for me, like, it's easy. Like, I don't know, like, just getting to know people, like, and it shows the importance that you're wanting to know them and their story.
Yeah.
And then it makes it a lot easier for them to open up to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Get that pray for that boldness, if that's something that you're seeking after, to like talk to random people or talk to the strangers, or like just put yourself out there to talk to people.
And the other thing I found during COVID was basketball, which is absolutely insane because I never thought they had basketball in Honduras. Mm-hmm. We always tried to find people playing, but I found a random park one day, and my wife's like, you're not going to go up there and play with them, are you? I was like, yeah. She's like, you don't know anybody. And I was like, I don't care. And I'm not kidding. Like, they grew to be some of my best friends. Like, too, I haven't been there in a year, and I still talk to them. Some of them on
we game with some of them.
Some of them we game with on video games. And I mean, it was some of the best times. Like, I mean, I really built relationships. They were like,
yeah.
I was 29, 30, and they were probably 17, 18, 16. But like, it was a lot of fun to get to feel my youth again, playing with them. Like, we got to play in tournaments. We traveled around. We got to play with some of the national players. Yeah. And then I ended up getting to coach them too. And another little story, one of our kids one day, he was, I want to say 19 at the time. I remember I was in the States and I saw a news article, and he was on my basketball team that I coached, and he was kidnapped by 5 of his friends. I want to say 5. It was around that number. And they held him for ransom and ended up murdering him and putting him on the beach and burying him. And that one hit hard too, because, I mean, he was 19 and the nicest kid that you could have ever met. Like, never had a problem with anybody, like anybody. And his own friends kidnapped him.
Yeah.
Classmates. Shouldn't even say friends, because obviously not, but people that knew him. And it's just crazy. Like, you don't think about things like that will ever happen in your life. Like,
and they do. They happen.
Like, it could have been me. Like, I mean, I spent that much time down there. Like,
yeah,
we wondered why he'd been missing for a few weeks. Like, hadn't been back there to play basketball, and then the news article came out, and
craziness. But yeah, I think that's just another, going back to just the importance of building relationships with people and pouring into people while you can.
Yeah.
Because we don't know the day or the hour that like people are going to be taken out, like, you know, or like where if the last time you talk to them is going to be the last time you talk to them. So love your people,
and you never
meet
know the
new people.
You never know the importance of just your little interaction, like just even buying lemons off someone or buying them dinner, buying them lunch. Like, these people haven't had a meal all day, and you don't know that. Like
Yeah.
the way I met, one of the ways I met my wife was, she'll laugh at this. I bought her pizza. It was one of the first times we ever talked, and I just went up to her counter and I was like, "Hey, I'm going to buy pizza. You want one?" And she's like, "Man, that's weird. Like, why don't like?" We had just started talking like as just friends, like acquaintances, I would say. And so I went and bought her a pizza. And later on in life, she told me that was the first day that I had no money on me and I had nobody to buy me food. And she said, "So I thought it was the craziest thing that you asked me that because it was the first day I didn't have anything to eat."
Crazy. And now they're in love.
8-month old.
With a 8-month-old living a great life.
Who's teething and keeping us up all night. And that's fun.
Yeah. Great time.
That's what I'm going through now.
And that's where we're at today.
But I mean, I'm so thankful for our relationship because who knows where I'd be now without it. Like, you've really pushed me to do missions and follow my dreams as I've tried to push you to follow your dreams. And
you've pushed me.
Because we both have the people in our lives telling us we're crazy and why are we doing that? Why can't we just stay here and live the simple life? Like,
Yeah.
but I've never felt called to that life. Like, I would love to eventually go back to Honduras and live full time. Like, got to talk the wife into that, but
yeah.
But it's just,
so
when you fall in love with that place and you feel you're calling with God, like, you know where you're supposed to be, and that's what I've always felt.
Yeah. So that's why it's important. Find those people in your life that you can go to for anything. Build those relationships with people. Go on a missions trip. Travel.
Get your passport. Like everybody says, like, get it. You never know when you could use it. Like, just go. One trip will change your life. Like,
it will change your life for so much the better. So much. I promise you that. You have gifts, you have abilities, you have talents. Use them. Get your passport. You never know when somebody's going to come up to you and say, "I need your talent on this mission trip. Come with me." You think that you're never going to have opportunity. Get your passport. I bet you'll start getting some sort of opportunity one way or the other. I could promise you that something will come your way.
yeah.
And
it'll change your life. Like, I felt like I've been touched more than what I've been able to do down there. Like, I feel like my life's changed more than what I've impacted their lives down there. Like, it'll forever change your outlook on life. Like, just to see how happy people are with how little they have.
Yeah. So find those people, find that friend, that person you can trust, and go on a mission trip. And that's our encouragement for this episode. That hopefully that you feel inspired to do a mission trip of some sort, even in the States.
It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be international. You can go to somewhere in the States, and just watch how God uses you and speaks to you in that way.
Because I never felt called to missions, never, until I went on that first trip. And then I knew from day one that I was called. Yeah,
absolutely. And so I think we'll go ahead and just pray this out like we always do. And Heavenly Father, we thank you, God, for this night that you've given us, Lord, that you've blessed us with. God, I pray that this episode will encourage somebody, Lord, that they've heard our stories and our experiences, Lord, to just build relationships with people, to pour into people, to be bold about their faith and to share the gospel like never before. God, and I pray that you will encourage somebody, talk to somebody, put it on somebody's heart to go on a missions trip, Lord, to go somewhere, to get their passport, to get ready to do that, Lord. And God, I thank you, Lord, for Wes's life, the way that he's been a friend to me, and I hope that I've been the same to him, Lord. And God, I pray that if someone's looking for accountability friends, so a best friend, somebody that they can talk to about anything, I pray, Lord, that you begin to lead and guide them to find that. And God, that they will have that in their lives from this day forward. Lord, and that you just protect the people that you need to protect. And Lord, I thank you, God, for everyone that listens. Keep us safe, Lord, as we go and do our lives, Jesus. And it's in your name that we pray. Amen.